What's going on, everyone? My name is Jeff. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is GameStop stock. Now this is a stock that has been ravaged over the past several years. And of course, there is this huge debate that I've noticed that goes on social media and a lot of the different social stock market websites that this could be a great recovery play. Now my stance has always been to go short on GameStop, okay? I don't feel like they're transitioning into the digital age well. You know, I think their business model is ancient. And really, guys, we all know, those of us who've been to GameStop, their business model is really built around ripping people off, okay? And you all know exactly what I mean. You go in, you take them 2 or 3 brand new games, and they offer you $20 of either cash or store credit, and then they turn around and sell those games for $80 to $100. And unfortunately, that's where GameStop makes most of their money. It's really where they make all of their money, and anything that they've tried to reboot this business has really kind of failed, and their last earnings report was absolutely terrible. So is GameStop stock headed to bankruptcy? Okay, will they be in the pennies very, very soon? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video, guys, and I appreciate all the support. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. So I don't even really know where to start with GameStop, guys. $15 of value have fell off this stock in about 2 years. This company has made literally every mistake in the book, and this unfortunately is what the 5-year chart looks like. They did see some good growth in 2015, and in November of 2015, GameStop was trading around $40 a share, and I even remember this company was well over a $5 billion market cap company. Seemed like it had all of the momentum at its back, and of course investors love this stock because of the dividend payment, and really since that time, guys, has been in a spiral out of control mode, okay? Shortly into 2016, GameStop was trading at $27 a share, and as you can see, this chart will just tell you it has been a short seller's dream come true. We're gonna go over the earnings report a little bit, and then I tell you, the real way to play GameStop is gonna be through put options. So let's go shop some put options. I'm talking 6 months to a year into the future. You know, a lot of people are gonna call GameStop a buy here at $5, thinking that it would recover itself maybe back up to 6 or 7, but that's just another setup, in my opinion, for a short sale or to buy more puts. So might want to be patient on this one, but even with that, I don't have a problem buying long-term puts on this company and just letting them sit and grow slowly over time. So back on June 4th, just a couple of days ago, GameStop reported earnings, and they had a Q1 GAAP EPS. They actually beat by 10 cents on the top line, and then they missed on revenue by $90 million, okay? So they were supposed to come to the table with about $1.55 billion of revenue. They missed that mark by $90 million, and initially the stock popped about 2%. Now you have to keep in mind, this company has had guidance cut over and over and over and over, okay? And that's really what has kept pushing this stock down. When you come into a quarter on cut guidance and then you continue to miss on revenue, the only thing investors are left to assume is that your business is dying, okay? And then they took this big hit just an hour or so after the earnings report was sitting on the market. They were down almost 9% amid a double-digit sales decline, okay? So as we just seen, they did miss on Q1 revenues, and they had an unexpected profit in GAAP terms, and they finally have decided to cut the dividend out completely, which, like I said, guys, this is a move, in my opinion, they should have made 3 or 4 years ago to try to salvage the company. And it says it will preserve about $157 million in cash annually. Now, in some ways, I guess you could turn this around and say, hey, that's a recovery move. They're trying to do the right thing to survive. However, that really is not the story here. It's that the sales keep declining at a startling pace. So sales fell 13.3% globally, with an 11.5% decline in constant currency, and comparable store sales fell 10.3%, with broad declines at home and abroad. Now keep in mind, GameStop is really focused on video gaming, okay? So accessories and collectibles, they did show a small growth of 0.6 and 10.5%. However, that is not really what GameStop is for. This is a video gaming company, and the more important, more heavily focused on areas declined massively, okay? So the new hardware was down 35%, and the Switch sales could not offset declines in PlayStation and Xbox. New software is down 4.3%, and pre-owned sales are falling 20%. And that, guys, is really where GameStop makes all of their money, is on pre-owned games, right? Like I mentioned at the start of the video, you bring in some games to trade into GameStop. They offer you a very, very small amount of money, and they go sit in the back room until an employee can price them up about 300 or 400%, put it back on the shelf and sell it. And I've always felt like that was a very rip-off system. And of course, it has hurt GameStop's reputation very, very much. Even myself, where I felt like I once did some business with GameStop, I felt like the level of professionalism has really declined with it, okay? Another thing that really irritates me about shopping at GameStop is when I go in to get something and they're trying to get me to sign up for this and sign up for that and prepay for this and put $10 on that. When I go into a store, I'm sure you are the same way. I am going in just to get the item I want and leave, and I don't want to be heckled or asked to buy a bunch of other stuff. It creates more expense and things I have to pay for. And that system of nagging the customer, that business model has hurt their sales very, very much. As you can see, pre-owned sales fell 20%. That is huge. And that explains their $90 million revenue miss. And so lastly, amid an ongoing cost savings initiative, of course, we did mention they're cutting the dividend. It expects to achieve annualized operating profit improvements of $100 million, and it's guiding to a 2019 sales decline of 5 to 10%. And of course, that comes with capital expenditures of $100 to $110 million. So basically what they're telling us in a nutshell, expect the share price to continue trading down because 2019 is going to see a long-term 5 to 10% decline. When I read that statement, that's really the only thing I'm focused on, is that sales are going to continue to drop at GameStop. And so let's talk for a minute about price targets. Okay, so Bank of America Merrill Lynch did talk about their EPS beat and that it was derived from lower SG&A and interest expense, but it was not enough to talk the analyst team off of an underperform rating and a price objective of $4. Benchmark also came out that morning and reiterated a sell rating and lowered the price target to $5. And of course, other firms are pointing to the difficulty of keeping investors interested in the name, with the dividend slashed and the console refreshes from Microsoft and Sony not expected into the year 2020. So I think it is safe to say in the short term, GameStop stock will continue to trade down if you do see some level of spike or you see the price jolt up a little bit. In my opinion, it is primed for short sales and put options as well. So yes, in my opinion, I do think GameStop is headed to bankruptcy, but of course I do think this business is still kind of short-term sustainable. I don't think they're going to be bankrupt by the end of the year, and it might take 2 or 3 more years to really bleed everything out of this company. So how I really want to play GameStop, like I mentioned, now that they have cut the dividend out completely, is to either go short or buy put options, and that's kind of what I want to do here, is price out some long-term put options. And guys, I think the price on them is very, very reasonable. So I've been shopping GameStop put options with an expiration of January 17th, 2020. So that gives us roughly 6 months up for the price to go in the direction we want. I think even right here at the $7 strike price and a $4.70 break even point, the stock only really has to lose about 6% of its value. And those options right now cost around $230 per contract. But even if you wanted to go a bit lower and really shop in the bargain bin, I think some of these options will price up very, very nicely. For example, these $4 strikes with a $3.53 break even. Of course, the stock does have to lose 30% more of its value. But keep in mind, the dividend has been completely cut out, so investors are going to lose interest in this stock very, very rapidly. These only cost $47 per contract. And of course, these $3 strikes, they have a $2.80 break even point. So assuming the stock loses 44% of its value, and of course these options will price up as GameStop loses value over the course of time, you can buy one contract of these for $20. So if we do see this stock run up a little bit, I would definitely keep these options on your radar, because like I said, as we move towards these price targets closer and closer, these options will price up. And like I said, at a $20 and maybe $47 price tag, I think it's pretty cheap, and it's pretty safe to say GameStop will be trading down to lower levels in due time. And so in conclusion, I just want to wrap up by saying I don't think GameStop is going to go bankrupt anytime soon, but I do not think there is a turnaround in play, and I think this company is just going to continue to struggle. And my guess is in 1 to 2 years, I do think you will see GameStop trading under $1 per share. It's really going to take a miracle to turn this company around. They're basically going to have to reinvent their entire business model and make it more beneficial to customers again, without feeling like you're getting ripped off every time you walk into the store. So make sure to drop your comments down in the comment section. I really want to hear them. Thank you as always for watching the video, and have a great day.